Hello all, my name is Rahman and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And in this video, we'll be talking about the benefits of using the cloud services, such as we'll be talking about high availability and the scalability in the cloud. We'll be talking about the reliability and predictability. We'll be also talking about the vertical and horizontal scalability. Uh, and at the end, we'll be talking about the cost and the performance predictability. And in the end, we'll also talk about the manageability in the cloud. First of all, if you remember in the last video, we talked about the introduction to cloud computing and we talked about what are the cloud computing platforms, state responsibility model, cloud models, all of those stuff. But in this video, we'll be talking about those what are the benefits of using them. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, let's talk about what are the benefits of using the high availability. Now, let's define first of all. High availability in the cloud refers to the ability of system to remain operational and accessible even in the event of hardware or the software failures. Now, high availability is like in the cloud is like having a backup plan in case something goes wrong with your computer. It means that your apps and data are always available to you even if there is a problem with the hardware of the software. Now let's talk about its benefits. Now the benefits of high availability are it makes your system more reliable so that you don't have to worry about them them breaking down or losing your data. The second comes is it helps your apps and data perform better so that you can get things done more quickly. And the third comes is it allows your system to grow or shrink as your business needs change without causing any problems. It helps you recover quickly if something unexpected happens, like power outage or the cyber attack. And in the end, it can save you money by reducing downtime, data loss, or repairing costs. So these are the benefits of using the high availability in the cloud. So we know that. Now let's talk about the scalability. Now in scalability, there are two types. First of all, we'll be defining what it is. After that, we'll be talking about those types of scalability. Now, scalability in the cloud refers to the ability to easily increase or decrease the amount of computing resources you need, such as the storage, processing power, or the memory. Now, scalability in the cloud is like having the ability to add or remove the seats at a restaurant, depending on how many people show up. It means that your computer systems can adjust to changing demands without any downtime. Now, if I talk about that in similar words, then scalability in the cloud refers to the ability to increase or decrease the amount of computing resources you need, such as the storage, processing power, or the memory. Let's take an example. For example, if your website suddenly gets a lot more traffic, a scalable system can automatically add more servers to handle the load without crashing or slowing down. And when the traffic goes back to normal, then the system can scale back to save money. Now, for example, let's say there are around 10 servers you have. Now, you don't need all of the servers, but you just need only one server. Okay, so you have a website which is just going on one server, and there are 100 people using that website. Now, if there are 1 lakh people using that website, then you need more servers. So your servers will be going to expand that, right? So your website will be going to expand in those servers. Overall, scalability in the cloud is a way to make sure your computer systems can keep up with your business needs without wasting resources or causing the problems. Now, let's talk about the types of scalability. Now, there are two types of scalability in the cloud. The first one is vertical, and the second comes is horizontal. Vertical scalability, and then the horizontal scalability. Now, first of all, let's talk about vertical scalability. Vertical scalability in the cloud is like adding more power to a single computer by upgrading its components such as the CPU, memory, or the storage. Now, in similar terms, vertical scalability means adding more resources to a single server to increase its performance and the capacity. For example, let's say that if you need more processing power for a particular application, then you can upgrade the CPU on a server to handle the more requests. Vertical scalability is also referred as scaling up as it involves increasing the capacity of a single server. However, there are limits to how much that you can scale up a single server as the hardware can only be upgraded so much. Now, let's talk about horizontal scalability. Now, horizontal scalability involves adding more servers to a single server, right? For example, now let's talk about that their difference. Now, vertical scalability, what it's going to do is it's going to increase the power on a single server itself, whereas Whereas horizontal scalability, what it does is it's going to distribute the power into different servers. So this is what the difference between vertical and the horizontal scalability. So this is what the vertical and the horizontal scalability. Now let's talk about reliability and the predictability in the cloud. Reliability in the cloud refers to the ability of a system or application to consistently perform its intended functions without errors or the interruptions. Now, reliability means that your applications and data are always available, perform as expected, and are not subject to unexpected downtime or the crashes. Cloud providers strive to ensure the reliability by deploying the redundant hardware and the software components across the multiple data centers, using load balancing and failover mechanisms to ensure the traffic is distributed evenly and that if one component fails, then another one takes over automatically. For example, let's say that there is a data center in USA. Okay, now you are using Azure or you are using any other cloud service. Now your data is stored in that data center. Now if something happens, if something natural disaster happens or any other thing happens there with the data center, what happens? Your data will be lost, right? But there will be around 8 to 10, maybe around 8 to 10 data centers available back for backup. Now if that one goes wrong something with that, then your data will be shifted to another data center in India. So that process may happen, is going to happen every time. So this is what reliability means. Now, reliability is important for businesses that depending on their IT infrastructure to operate, as it helps minimize the risk of the data loss, downtime, and the lost productivity. By ensuring that your systems and applications are reliable, you can focus on growing your business and serving your customers without worrying about the unexpected failures or errors. Now let's talk about predictability in the cloud. Predictability means that your system behaves in a consistent and predictable manner even as your business needs and usage pattern changes over a time. Now, predictability can be focused on performance predictability or the cost predictability. Now, in the predictability in the cloud, there are two types. The first one is performance predictability. The second comes is the cost predictability. So we'll be talking about after that after some time. So first of all, let's talk about predictability in the cloud. Now, as I said, that predictability means that your system behaves in a consistent and predictable manner even as your business needs and usage pattern change over a time. What happens is, for example, when you're working on an application and there are a lot of people using that application, okay, and that application is just going on a server. What happens is when there are a lot of people using, so it's going to be distributed, your but it's not going to change its manner, the manner of working, right? So that's what the predictability says. Now cloud providers strive to ensure predictability by using the monitoring and analytics tools to track system performance and identify potential blocknets or performance issues. They may also provide features like auto scaling, which automatically adjusts the computing resources to match the changes in the demand. It ensure that the performance remains consistent even as the usage patterns change. Now let's talk about its types such as the cost and the performance predictability. Cost predictability means that business can estimate and plan for the costs of using the cloud services such as the Azure, GCP, Google Cloud Services, AWS, Amazon Web Services, all of those stuff, and avoid the unexpected or unplanned expensive. Cloud providers strive to ensure the cost predictability by offering transparent pricing models and tools that allow businesses to monitor and control their usage of the cloud services. This may include the features such as usage tracking, alerts, and the cost management tools, which can help businesses stay within their budget and avoid the unexpected expensive expenses. Now, cost predictability is important for the businesses that use cloud computing, cloud services such as the Azure, all of the stuff, just as I said, right? So, as it can help them manage their expenses, optimize their resource allocation, and improve their overall finance performance by providing predictable and transparent pricing. Cloud providers can help business make informed decisions about their use of the cloud services while minimizing the risk of unexpected costs or billing surprises. Now let's talk about the performance predictability. Now, performance predictability in the cloud refers to the ability of a system or the application to consistently meet expected performance levels regardless of changes in the workload demand. Just as I said, the in the predictability, right? Now, for example, as I have given the example where you are working on an application and there are lots of people using that application. Now what happens is it's going to increase its workload, right? So it's going to distribute there, so it has to manage the performance levels. So that's what the performance predictability is going to do. So that's what the performance and the cost predictability is. Now let's talk about the management of the cloud and management in the cloud. So, benefits of manageability in the cloud. Now, the major benefit of cloud computing is the manageability options. There are two types of manageability for cloud computing that you are going to learn right now. The first one comes is management of the cloud. Now there is a difference between management of the cloud and management in the cloud. We'll be talking about management of the cloud. Management of the cloud speaks to managing your cloud resources. In the cloud, you can automatically scale resources deployment based on need, deploy resources based on the configure template, removing the need for manual configuration. The third comes is monitor the health of resources and automatically replace failing resources. And the last one is receive automatic alerts based on configured metrics, so you are aware of performance in real time. So this is what the management of the cloud. Let's talk about the management in the cloud. Management in the cloud speaks to how you are able to manage your cloud environment and resources. You can manage we can manage through a web portal. The second comes is using a command line interface. The third comes is using the APIs, and the last one is using the Windows PowerShell or the PowerShell. So this is what the difference between management in the cloud and management of the cloud. So anyhow guys, that's all for this video, and I hope you liked and enjoyed watching this video. If you have any questions, please give that in the comments below. I will see you all in another tutorial. Thanks for watching and goodbye.